So question number one, who are you?
I am Charlie Cologne, also known as the LilBean. Um, yeah, that's who I am.
All right. And what is it that you do?
What I do is try to grow and develop the cannabis culture in the community. That's really what I'm passionate about. That's where my heart is, and that's what I'm trying to drive here.
All right. What kind of things in the cannabis space are dope to you right now?
Man, honestly, the thing that I love in this cannabis space specifically is the brotherhood and sisterhood and the friendship of this community. This community is, I always knew it was a tight, close, niche community, but I've been through some tough times lately, and the community has really come out for me. I think they've seen my passion and my love for them, and they have done nothing but return it 10 times fold. And I don't know. I feel very blessed. That's what's really surprising me is I knew it was already a beautiful community, but it's even more beautiful than I can ever even imagine. And I'm blessed to be a part of it.
Who in this space do you think is doing dope things right now?
Ooh, I cannot really, it's hard to point out one thing, but right next to me are my homies, the Love Green Culture. Gotta love what they're doing. My guy Bob Exotic, gotta love what the Goat's doing. Pay attention to all the Illinois breeders. We got Goat, we got Prairie State. I wish I had more time to think about that one because there's a lot of people out here who deserve to get plugged because it's not just one of us, it's all of us. And together as a community, we're growing, we're doing big things. So I feel bad for all you that I'm forgetting, but all of you are part of what we're doing. We're all big things right now.
I agree. Everybody deserves to be a dope person. Now, how can we support you?
Okay, you can support us by liking and sharing our Instagram, our Facebook. You can find us at, let's see, make sure I get this right, the Little Beans Smoke Shop and Farmers Market, or Little Beans Farmers Market on Instagram and Facebook. And definitely you can find me on at Charlie Cologne 2023. Support us there, and we appreciate all the love.
I appreciate your time. Thanks so much, Charlie. You're listening to the Elevated News Podcast with two dope dudes. Here are your hosts, Dave and Aaron. All right, cool. Welcome to the Elevated News Podcast with two dope dudes. We're a podcast focused on discussing local and national cannabis news and culture. I'm Aaron. This is Dave.
Oh,
yeah. What's going on, guy? How are you?
I'm fantastic.
Awesome.
How is this week treating you, my friend?
Oh man, it could be a little bit cooler, but
it is a hot one. Actually, it's quite hot.
It is quite hot.
And here in this lovely cave that we produce in, there is quite the lack of air movement.
Yeah, at some point we'll have something proper, but we're gonna.
But to bring you guys all the best news, we'll suffer the heat. Okay, we need to get together and spend this time here because all of you are lovely, and we appreciate every single one of you.
Yeah, everybody that listens and gives feedback it's super cool to hear. We got I forgot to, I guess we can mention now. I got
now than never.
Some homies on Instagram giving us some shout outs. It was really cool.
Woo woo.
Yeah, woo woo. Really cool to see. So thanks for your feedback. Appreciate it. You guys are awesome. You want to do plugs? You want to
run it up?
Plug it up?
You may always find the Elevated News Podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and all other favorite streaming platforms. At Two Dope Dudes on YouTube.
Yep.
And please, if you can, give us the like, leave a review. It does help us. We are just trying to figure out what it is that we need to be doing for the people. We both have a bunch of good ideas.
Yeah.
And we will continue to present them. We like to kind of talk over the news and see what's going on in Illinois.
Well, it's a chance for us to hang out and bullshit about the cannabis stuff besides your live streams.
Yeah. And I honestly, I look forward to these times during the week now. It's been one of my favorite things.
Me too.
Yeah. And it has been. It's been great when we get responses.
Yeah, we did get some responses from the 5 support dope people questions with Marky Love from Love Green Culture.
Marky,
let's go, buddy.
Thank you very much, my friend.
You're the man.
He did bring up that last week when we were talking, we called the strain Fabuloso.
No, we were saying what it smelled like.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, I
like,
couldn't
yeah,
remember. It's Suavita.
Yeah,
Suavita. He listens, so
yeah.
thank you, Marky.
We appreciate you, brother.
Yeah, bro.
And he also did mention terps.
He did
over THC.
Yes,
he's all about the flavor. Terps are everything because everything has an effect on you, but not everything tastes good. Flavor over everything. And actually, I just wanted to bring up a quick point to that. He is absolutely 1,000% correct.
Yeah.
Taste and smell are a big portion of why we enjoy the things that we enjoy. And typically, if our nose says, it typically means our body will probably enjoy it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy how that goes together. So it killed me at the beginning of the cannabis industry when we weren't able to smell things and show people different products because how the hell are you supposed to buy it? And now it's become such commonplace in Illinois that if you walk into an Illinois dispensary, you can see some maybe packaging or something, but you ain't gonna never smell the stuff. Well, I mean, there's a few that are out there that
they have the big screen TVs with the high definition photos. So I mean, you can it's just like seeing in real life.
Yeah, I mean it's like and they have MySpace angles.
Totally.
It's a
totally.
Yeah.
Totally.
Anyway.
And then you can see it's like a gram for $99 because it's the Smash Mouth gram or whatever the hell they do. I don't know. I've seriously seen some like $100 grams. I sent you that picture that one down.
Seen it.
That was crazy.
You seen it.
I can't believe it. So he says he averages 25% THC. In the last episode you were talking about, you wanted to know what the average
home grow
was.
Yeah,
well, organic at least. Well, mostly organic.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And that's the thing. Here's the thing. I don't know what spectrometers read what or how these things work. I do know that in Illinois, I got to witness 2 times cannabis being tested for different levels of whatever.
Well,
and both times there were the one machine that I forgot what they said had a bigger range, and then the other one has a smaller range.
Right.
And then the guy looked at me straight in the face and he goes, "It's all per what you test, man."
It is because like I believe one of I think the 2 tests, like one is just like a visual. I could be wrong, but it's more of like a visual test, and I think the other one is like a destructive test where it actually gets broken down.
Correct.
And then right, exactly.
That's the one
that's the one. But I mean, like we don't have access to that, so
well, that's all I'm saying.
You know what I mean?
And
I'm just saying we're not poo-pooing what we have, but
no, I'm not discrediting anything.
Yeah.
I just think that again, even to use a piece of equipment that is sold purely to tell you I don't know THC equipment. I don't know this stuff enough. I'm on board. Don't. And you even said it yourself there, Marky. Don't pay too much attention to that number. It's never gonna mean anything. Just grow good quality cannabis that is flavorful and has the terpenes still intact, and you should be completely fine. If you understand that THC is more dominant over any of the other cannabinoids, you're perfectly fine. But even then, we don't need to understand that. If we don't care about what THC is or what it's doing or what we would need it for other than just purely feeling good when we ingest it, don't worry about it. It's not a big deal. And that,
Yeah, Marky, keep growing fire weed.
Just keep growing fire stuff. I'll keep smoking.
Yeah, we like smoking your weed.
Yeah, I'll do it.
Oh, speaking of, email us at twodopedudespodcast@gmail.com. Any of your drugs, you can just email us there.
Yeah.
I just wanted to let you guys know that.
Yeah, you know what?
Speaking of,
we're not all the way there, but let's start putting the bait out there for people because maybe if you listen back, I offer, and I think Aaron's on board this year. We were talking about it. We will check your kids' Halloween candy for drugs.
100%.
Every time.
If
you bring us bags of candy, you can just drop it off at my front porch. I'll take them in. I'll look through it, inspect for drugs, and then I'll give you back the non-drugged candy, and I'll keep all the stuff with the drugs in it.
Someday you're going to get a lot of candy, and that's going to be awesome.
I've been planting this seed
Yeah.
for a couple of years in a couple
Thanks.
of different places. I cannot wait until it actually starts
Thanks,
happening.
past me.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah.
So-
So, hey, thanks for commenting on the YouTube. It was really fun to interview Marky. He was my first interview, and he's my boy. So, but I'm gonna have some other support dope people questions. I got to do a couple cool ones when I ran my Flex tournament last week, which was super fire. Thanks
Yes.
everybody that
Yeah.
came out that may listen to this podcast,
all-
except for Ben, because you don't listen. You'll never hear this, so you suck, Ben. That's good times. Anyway,
Oh man,
yeah.
that is awesome. No, I good job on putting that together and
Yeah,
way to
thanks.
run it. Yeah,
Thanks. I'm just trying to like make content because like some people have said, everybody's out here talking about somebody should do this, somebody should do that. And we're just out here just doing it. You know what I mean? So we got some cool stuff planned. It's only going to get better.
that's it. You
Yeah.
let us know what you need to see.
Yeah, for sure.
Um,
Hey, we got some good news in Illinois.
you want to run it? Let's check this
Yeah,
out.
good news in Illinois, finally.
Golly, so Aaron does a good bit of the scrubbing the news and trying to find the good topics to present to me to make me get all excited about things, or so that we can talk about
Yeah.
it. And this one excited me. Okay, did you know that Illinois became the second state to enact the right to garden bill?
Yeah, but did you know that cannabis is not included in that?
Well, yeah.
And that's unfortunate.
So you can garden everything except for some plants that they don't want. you
Except
to.
for the one that's medicine or, some cacti, maybe some sort of fungi.
Right. Or any poppy.
Right, poppy.
You would not want any of
that.
that. That
No.
would be bad.
No,
and
that's
that would be
cornered by
against-
the Rosen's bread company.
Oh, the nightshade
Yeah,
too. Probably
yeah.
can't get any of that.
No, there's somewhere at the conservatory. You guys should go to the conservatory. Garfield Park. They have
Really?
nightshade. Yeah. No, they have, I think they have like a whole like things you shouldn't have planted.
Really?
Yeah. There's some places that have stuff like that.
Man, I want to go now.
I could be wrong about Garfield Park Conservatory, but I
need
mean,
to
at
see
least it
some
being
weird
there. But
plants.
there are some places like that where you can go, like, hey, don't touch this because you'll explode.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I like it.
Well, just so everybody knows, if we all live in it, well, at least most of us, I think, live in Illinois. And
Yeah,
if you
probably.
don't, comment on one of these platforms and let us know where you're from. We're happy to talk maybe some of your cannabis stuff.
Yeah,
If you've
for
got
sure.
cannabis stuff going on or you have any questions, please always ask. But it's very cool if you live in Illinois because and it was weird when I first started reading this, but once I got to the bottom of it, it made me feel substantially better. Illinois
Right.
became the second state to enact the right to garden bill, and I said, "What the hell does this even mean?"
Yeah. This is from 2021.
This is a couple of years
It
ago.
is a couple years ago, but it'll all make,
but this is perfectly fine.
Yeah.
The Illinois Vegetable Garden Protection Act, which is in House Bill number 633, if you ever want to check it up,
Mhm.
is a bill that will preserve and protect the right of all Illinoisans to cultivate vegetable gardens on their own property.
on their own property.
Right, so you can grow vegetables as well as herbs, fruits, flowers, pollinator plants, leafy greens, or other edible plants, just not cannabis.
Just not cannabis.
It
And
doesn't
it has
say
to be
that.
it has to be your own property. I mean, that's how it should be. You should be able to do, as long as it's not destructive to the environment, you should be able to do whatever you want on your own property.
Right.
You
And
know what I mean?
because it's really weird that you list all of these things that are allowed
Right.
and then you just leave out the most important one. But anywho, in quotation marks from some friend of Elmhurst, they say, "I just want to grow my own food on my own property in America. That really shouldn't be such a controversial idea.
No.
And it certainly shouldn't be illegal."
Yeah.
And I respect what this young lady had to say. Her efforts to grow her own vegetables in her rear yard have been repeatedly stymied by local officials.
In a rear yard.
In arrears.
In arrears.
In arrears. Yeah.
In your ear.
I'm
I'm gonna edit that out.
Yeah, we could.
I'm gonna edit that out.
No.
Maybe not.
Maybe. We'll see.
Maybe.
Now that the Vegetable Garden Protection Act has passed, we look forward to helping other Illinois residents enjoy their own backyard produce all winter long.
All winter.
But you can enjoy it all year long if you do it correctly.
You can.
Yeah, recent events have caused many to consider how they can live more sustainable and independent lives, and we are happy to contribute to this groundswell, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like growing cannabis right now. There is a groundswell, and it is becoming more popular. I worry about that because I think I hope that suddenly it doesn't become a huge problem. Like, oh my God, a bag of grow had something in it and it killed 5 people.
Yeah.
And so now we, because that's probably the type of thing that Illinois would do.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
They're going to, and no matter what, they're going to force you to license yourself to grow this stuff, no matter how it goes down, is my guesstimation. And we have the right at this point to go get a medical license and to be able to grow cannabis. So at least at this point, it's protected to a degree, or you have a chance to protect yourself a little bit better than some of the others who are putting themselves at a decent amount of risk.
I mean, there are home growers. I mean, there's home growers or home growers. There's some people that only grow specifically for medical. There's other people that grow for whatever other reason. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, it.
Yeah.
I ain't judging shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah, no, I completely understand it, and I respect
gardeners are gardeners.
That's it. If you love to grow, it's
Yeah.
just a fucking plant. We'll always say the thing. We all know it. It's just a plant.
It's just a plant. It's just cuttings.
Yeah.
It's either a big mom or it's 100 cuttings.
See, so the best part here is that when Pritzker signed this little protection act, the Vegetable Garden Protection Act, this law stripped local governments of the power to impose homeowner association style prohibitions on an act of self-sufficiency in which humans have been engaged for thousands of years, said the attorney. Okay?
Yep.
Which is perfectly fine. And I think that everybody should be able to grow and make, especially if it's for a level of sustainability in your life and it's on your property. What the fuck does anybody else care?
I mean,
you guys gotta look.
I met tons of people who outdoor grow. I see tons of pictures of outdoor grows. I couldn't do it, not where I'm at, but like, I wish I lived in a place that I could. That'd be cool. You just got to be careful because other people they just leave their plants to herm and then they just pollinate. Like, you get some wind and then you get pollinated stuff and it's not good.
Yeah.
You gotta get it quick, I guess. Yeah. I guess there's a whole thing.
Well, that'll transition us straight into this next source, man, which is navigating Illinois' cannabis plant count limit.
This is from Illinois News Joint, and we
Thank you, Illinois Ed.
Yeah, Illinois Ed wrote this. This is navigating Illinois' cannabis plant count limit. So this is like a 6-part series, what Illinois cannabis patients really want. And you should go back and read them all. They're all really good. It has to do with consumption laws and, medical stuff. So let's see here. So basically it says there's a 5-plant limit, restricts several aspects of growing medicine at home, including the simple difference between growing regular and feminized seeds. That definitely makes sense. Because you can actually you can get fem seeds or you can get regular seeds.
Correct.
Fem seeds are just feminized, and then those are 99.9% guaranteed to be female plants, which is what you want. You don't necessarily want male plants. That's where all your seeds come from.
Correct.
So if you're growing regular seeds and you get a package of beans or seeds, what we call them, and you get 8 of them, you know what I mean? 3 of them may be female, the other 5 may be male, and the male you want to throw away because you don't want that bud.
Does feminizing a seed or a plant that is going, because you feminize the seed, right? It's silver nitrate or something that they
I believe you spray silver nitrate on it.
And it forces the plant to do something so that when the seeds come off, there is a way higher chance
something
of it
like
coming
that.
off as a female, correct?
Yeah, basically. That's my understanding. It's basically, it's like a self-defense mechanism. Basically, you're stressing the plant out in a way that makes it do that.
But
You
it'll
know what I
block
mean?
one of it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just didn't know. Is there a chance that that is causing the plant not to be at its maximum potential?
Oh, are you saying regular versus feminized seeds?
Yes.
You know, there might be a study, but like I've never really heard that.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
It only.
I get what you're saying, but
Yeah,
I don't
because
think
I
so.
don't know enough. And that's
Yeah.
always the thing. It's like with anything, if we're using things to kind of stress and steroid something out,
Right.
you know, I think it makes, you know, kind of sense that it could potentially harm the thing. Or
Well,
is it any
I've been
less
reading.
organic then if it comes from a
I think silver nitrate is
feminine-
just one way to do it. I think there's other ways to do it.
Is there?
Yeah, I believe
Okay.
so.
Yeah,
So, and also I have been reading up on PGRs.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So typically what it says is that you actually get less terps, less THC.
Oh.
Yeah. So the whole stacking thing, there's like 3 different chemicals that they use.
So then I wonder if they do it right at a certain time where they grow it right to the point where it's maximized its THC and terpenoid count, and
Very
then you give
possibly.
it those PGRs right at the end. It fluffs them buds up, blows them up, makes
Well,
them
yeah,
look
it's
fat and
it's
chunky,
called
and
bud
then you
candy.
pop
Yeah,
it.
no, you bud candy or like whatever it's
Yeah.
called, like from the advanced line or the whatever other synthetic lines, which are perfectly fine. Like I'm not against them at all. I've used them before. I used them in hydro or in cocoa. You know what I mean? It was fine. But yeah, no, they're PGRs, but
I've had every style.
I'm just telling you what I read.
Yeah, no. And that's the thing too, that like, I don't know if one style of growing over another style of growing is any better than anything, because I've had good hydroponically grown cannabis. I've had good aeroponically grown cannabis. I've had good shit grown organically. I've had good shit grown veganically. I've had good stuff grown.
I mean, good weed.
And cocoa has been one of my more favorite, you know.
Good weed is good weed.
California's got
coco's a
something
pain
right.
in the butt because you gotta water. You gotta like extra water.
Yeah, I don't know what it is about.
It just dries out quicker.
California weed, they're using that bat shit, bro. That guano, that bat guano, bro. That's that good shit, bro.
So are organics.
Hey, bro, that shit tastes good though.
Yeah, you can use. Well, a lot of times we use blood meal instead of guano, but you can. It's sold in the store. Like you can get bat guano.
Yeah, the only reason I said that at all is because when I was in
volcanic
Colorado
rock.
one time,
Yeah,
I was talking to the scientists at
Mary's.
and they're super intelligent to cannabis and what it does as a plant.
Yeah.
And I said, no offense, like, I don't really like much of the cannabis up here. There's something about it that I just haven't found anything that good. Can you point me in the direction of stuff that's good? And the girl that was there, she said, well, where do you typically get your cannabis from? And I said, fucking, I don't know. I think it comes from California most of the time. And she said, California uses bat guano and has far better growing conditions than we do here. I said, what does that have to do with anything? And then she was like, bat shit. And then I started laughing. And then
guano.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it was literally like,
there's high nitrogen.
Yeah, she's like, that stuff, if you grow it properly, and they use it all out there, that's something common. Then she said also, too, they have a way better air quality. We're up here in the mountains. And we have to understand that, too. The air quality plays a huge difference in what we grow as well.
Oh, yeah.
So, like, you know, the level of humidity compared to the level of sunlight that you're receiving, and how much, the farther up into the mountains you go, you have less oxygen. So your plants don't receive the same level of something. And then
CO2, right. No, well, yeah, California has better conditions, and I mean, they have their own problems, but they do have very good conditions for outdoor growing. So with outdoor growing, you just have way more space, so you just end up producing way more.
Even internally, that's what the lady said, though. She goes, internally, indoors, you know, not a ton of people. And she said the best growers in Colorado right now have false atmosphere being pumped into their...
You mean CO2?
Well, dude, CO2, but even past that, like some of them are putting nitrogen and ozone and things into the air because it doesn't exist at that level of stuff. And at 5,000 feet, if you can produce a little bit of your own
I guess that makes sense. Yeah,
Right,
yeah. I
right,
don't know.
right, right.
I don't know about it.
Yeah, and so I went into a place that was actually pumping different.
Yeah, I've been in
parts of-
places that have like ozone scrubbers and stuff like
Yeah.
that. They smell great.
It did smell great.
Smells great.
Mhm.
Never forget that sterile smell.
Hmm. But yeah, no,
But yeah, so you can do like 10 seeds, and you could have, you could only have like 4 of them be female, and so then you're out. You know what I mean? But you have to grow them. You have to pop them all. So if you're only allowed 5 plants under a certain limit,
because it's so
and by limit I mean size,
correct.
you can
Because
have. I guess you could have a bunch of seedlings.
correct, and that's the other thing too, that the cultivation of cannabis tends to be the grandly illegal part.
Yeah.
As far as at least in the municipality that I live, and you can check your own, I
Yeah.
promise you that finding this out is probably not a bad thing, especially if you're going through the process of pushing the limits.
Yeah. Push it
There
to
is
the
a
limit.
thing called, I believe, a civil disturbance that growing cannabis, if it is growing in the process of
Yeah.
growing, and they found it at your house at a certain point, and it wasn't over a certain point, or it wasn't, I don't know the justifications in your jurisdiction, but I know in mine, if they find less than 5 plants, it still is the 5 plant limit.
Yeah.
Everything gets classified as a civil disturbance, which again, civil disturbances, depending on your amount of times, can result in anything from like I forgot what it was, $25 or $50 per plant or per whatever
Yeah, something like that.
fee, or up to like a few $1,000s worth of fees
Yeah.
if you're a repeat offender or they've got issues with you or whatever. No matter what, though, if you're civilly disturbing something up until whenever you flower or whatever, the second you cut that plant down and you hang it somewhere to dry, or you put it in a place where you're curing it or doing something, you have now cultivated cannabis,
Yeah.
and it becomes a completely different thing.
Yeah.
So though the civil disturbance laws protect you some degree, and you can play, okay, I don't got to pay a bunch of fines, the second you cut it down, there's something bad about it again. So just go in Illinois, at least where we're at, or if you're in any other state where they have
Yeah.
growing laws in place, go through the process of licensing yourself. And here it's just getting a medical license.
Yeah.
And if you've got questions about it, please send it to the Two Dope Dudes at Gmail.
Two Dope Dudes podcast.
Two Dope Dudes podcast at gmail.com,
yes, please.
please. And I'd
Also,
be more
all
than
your
happy
drugs.
to, and
Any
Halloween
e-drugs.
candy.
Yeah, Halloween
E-drugs,
candy.
yeah.
E-drugs
and Halloween
candy.
Yes.
Hell yeah. Oh, also your seeds. I don't know. I'm just making things up.
Yeah. To P.O. Box, just drop them off to me.
Okay, cool. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So so that's it's only 5 plants, or only 5 under a certain thing. So there are places where you can send in tissue sample and sex your plants beforehand. You know what I mean? And they're certified and they're pretty good. I think there's a Illinois News Joint preferred one with a coupon code. If you're interested in that, you can go to Illinois News Joint. They're good dudes, or ladies and gentlemen, whoever. So.
They actually make some good stuff. It's most of what we're reading here, and a lot of what this thing is mostly, when you're only limited to 5 plants,
Yeah.
you don't have a chance to sex a bunch of stuff like you just said.
Correct.
Even though
And-
up into a certain point you can grow them, but then you're gonna have to. What if all 10 of them come up females?
Right.
Now you're like, fuck, I
Right.
just wasted my
Exactly.
other
You wasted
thing,
your
and
time,
it cost hundreds
soil.
of dollars, and
Like, yeah.
yeah.
It's
Now
ridiculous.
what do I do now? Because now I'm illegally, and I've got to.
Well, because you should be. I mean,
You can
I'm
cut
just
them,
saying.
but-
I'm just saying, if you're following the law, which who gives a shit. But I mean, you're growing medically, so like we're talking about actual medical patients here. So if you're growing growing medically, so like it's that time is of the essence sometimes, because you have to trim it, you have to hang it, you have to do all that stuff, and if you're wasting time having to sex your plants, that's kind of ridiculous.
Oh, it's
You know what I mean?
crazy.
Yeah,
it's
it's
not,
crazy.
It is not. Yeah, and to me, I don't understand, and I'll never get the point the difference between 5 and 6. I understand mathematically how that works. I understand having $5 versus $6.
Yeah.
I understand having 5 days to live versus 6 years to live. I
Yeah.
understand the difference in 5 and 6. It makes plenty of sense to me. But when we're talking about something so trivial, why don't they limit the amount of jalokia fucking
Well,
peppers that we can grow?
I
Because
mean,
those
there-
things are what they make bear spray out of.
Yeah. Well, there are people who are like advocating right now for, you know, like consumption laws. There's that new company or couple who's like advocating and putting out content for that. There's people that are putting out content for you know, home grow for all or increasing medical limits. I don't know, you know, there's people that are optimistic that it's going to get better here in Illinois.
Oh,
I-
it has to, because
Well,
it doesn't have to.
it doesn't
I
have
know
to.
that. But
I'm not optimistic about it.
I'm not.
I was surprised that more people that when we were at the Goat Cup I talked to, and even the night before, you know, they were very optimistic about like, oh, it's going to get better for us. And I was like, whoa, well, you think so?
It will.
I'm not sure.
I mean, no matter what, the progression of cannabis will have to happen, right? Because right now, if they're saying you can grow X amount or do X amount or whatever, well, they might take it away actually, because then they wouldn't be able to profit if you keep growing.
Well,
you could see that going away.
Well, again, remember we talked about gifting no longer on the CROO website. So just pointing things out. I mean, you know, and that's my favorite thing of growing. I love handing out buds of weed because people always smile.
Yeah.
And it's kind of dope.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I
It'd
can
be
mess
dope,
with that.
Santa.
I do.
Yeah, dude. You know, it's the best.
Yeah.
But yeah, and there's no real end in sight for, you know, further explanation of the, you know, the Illinois cannabis laws at that.
The biggest and mainest point of this whole entire article here that I saw, and I think everybody that's listening in here should be very keen to. This person said, frankly, most patients won't balk at running 1 or 2 extra plants, even though penalties as provided by law for cultivating 6 plants in Illinois is a class 4 felony and carries a punishment of 1 to 3 years in prison and or a fine up to $25,000.
That's correct.
5 plants legal.
6 plants?
Felony.
Right to jail.
Felony.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, sure, you can grow like up to 5 plants, but if you're growing 6 plants, you're screwed.
You all have to.
And that goes back to what I've said before, that we are still currently writing laws against cannabis and against people having cannabis. And we're writing and enacting laws here in Illinois to criminalize and to punish people and to put people in jail. And it's ridiculous because marijuana is not legal here. We just have a structure to tax it.
I thought that's all it's ever been.
I mean, I'm going to, you know, I'm going to keep yelling it from the rooftops like you're going to keep, you know, coping it up. You know what I mean?
Because this is what it's called, okay? I just want you to know.
Mm-hmm.
The Cannabis Regulation and Tax Act.
That's right.
That's right.
I couldn't remember it before.
Yeah, I mean, if you didn't remember, Cannabis Regulation and
Tax Act.
The Tax Act.
Yeah.
Just to let you guys know how they're going to make sure you are taxed, and you have to pay the man for giving you the right.
The right.
Yeah, to then be an adult, to actually portal through 21 years of age into adulthood,
right?
You can now spend your money like any other human that you want to, and you can get smashed drunk or smoke as much cannabis as you want, and just make sure you pay the taxes, and that's fine.
Just pay the taxes, because that's what it's all about. Even though, I mean, I know we don't typically focus on industry news or anything like that, because that's not what we're about. We're about like our little community of like cool people,
right?
And like home growers and people who need help medically with cannabis, with Dave, You know what I mean? Dave being able, Dave having all the industry experience working for a dispensary, running dispensaries, whatever it is.
Right.
You know what I mean? So like
Ground warrior.
that's what we're about. But like
To me, to tell somebody they can do something, but the only way you can do it is to give me about a third of the effort there.
Yeah.
Instead, I mean, you can go to a football game, but
Right.
you only get to watch 2/4 of it, and then I'm gonna go sit in your seat afterwards and you're paying for it.
Yeah.
And actually, if you could only eat half of the hot dog and leave me the beer because I told you I deserve it, and if you don't, I'll beat you up. I'm pretty big.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
Well, we're focused on the little guys, and there's other people focused on the big guys, and we want to focus on,
Hey, I'm
what's
pretty
right in our
big though, guys. I
community.
got your back. We'll
That's
beat
true.
up the big guys.
That's true.
We'll figure it out. Robin
will.
Hood was a bad mofo,
For
okay?
sure.
And we just trying to Robin Hood out here. We're just trying to take from
Oh.
the big guys and give to the little guys.
So speaking of little guys, so I know we don't usually talk about it, and we'll go right back to the point because I finally got less high and remembered what I was going to say is that it's all down in Illinois. Like all the numbers are down, and Michigan and Missouri are up. So good for them. And that's why hopefully maybe something will happen. But, much like concealed carry, we were the very last.
Literally, not a joke. In the last week, I have heard 2 people that I would never have imagined in my entire life. I don't even think I thought they consumed cannabis. Tell me that they go to Michigan to get their cannabis.
That's awesome. Good for them.
I was like, wait a minute. You did fucking what?
Yeah.
And this older gentleman, he was like, could you look at how I got 4 carts for $40? Taste this thing. This tastes better than anything in Illinois. Blah, 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 blah. I'm like, Jesus Christ, dude.
That's
And
awesome.
so, yeah, and he said, what the fuck is the difference? I literally am going to spend $400 less.
Plus, I get to go to Michigan.
He said,
I get to make a trip of it.
literally, he said,
Yeah.
I spent $30 in gas and had lunch, and I came back and saved $350.
That's awesome.
I was like, holy shit, that's a
Dude.
brilliant, that's like the coolest thing that you can say.
That's what we need. We need more and more. I mean, more people should go there and figure out what cannabis actually is so that they can use it and it gets more popular. And then maybe more people will, maybe the boomers or the people who donate or, whatever, maybe something does happen. Maybe I should be optimistic. Maybe I should be optimistic.
I think
Maybe
that
that's the point.
Illinois will have to compete.
Oh, yeah.
All the rest of the markets around here are just
Well, we
beating the
we
piss.
got pensions to pay.
Yeah.
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 So, I mean, no, Missouri's beating the piss out of it. Minnesota is now legal, right? Which is not a border state, but they're pretty close, and they're
Right.
a short hop from Iowa too.
Right.
You know what I mean? So,
The only ones that aren't is Wisconsin and Indiana.
well,
Oh,
Wisconsin has a big beer culture, a big drinking culture.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So does
They'll-
Minnesota, but they're a little bit, I guess, more left leaning. So like it's cool, and that's whatever. I know medical's been there for a long time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
So that's good.
Indiana just don't know what's going on there. Wisconsin and Indiana should. Well, I mean, but Indiana and Kentucky,
Indiana would turn it into a casino.
100%.
You know what I mean? It would be an
100%.
attraction. You
Yeah.
want to come to Cannabis World?
Yeah.
Gary, Indiana.
Yeah, they'd have a tire production factory right out the back of it too. A bunch of fucking smoke and shit coming out. You ain't even got to smoke in
that's
there. They're
awesome.
smoking for you.
Yeah,
They're
there's
just pumping fucking cigarettes through the
I
vents.
always hated having to go to Indiana. I had to cross the Sky Bridge for work, and I'm like, I don't want to work working in the train yards out there. Sometimes it's like, yeah, wear a mask. Well, just it's a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually,
Well,
anywho,
the good thing is that more people are going to other places, and the numbers have been down and down and down. We don't normally talk about industry stuff, or as far as like Illinois numbers. You know what I mean? You're like, I don't give a fuck about that. And I'm
Yeah,
like,
me personally,
you know what I mean? there's better industry type stuff to talk about.
So here's the thing that I got presented. Every day, somebody is becoming old enough to finally go to a dispensary.
Mm-hmm.
They're finally going to go to a bar or a dispensary, and they're going to make their choice. And maybe they're going to go to both. It doesn't really matter.
Right.
But when I heard that, it kind of made me think, here's the thing. Anybody who's committed and already goes to dispensaries, you've already accepted it. In your brain, you've wrote off the level of convenience that it is to go to the place closest to your house instead of making any excess effort. And maybe you have an excess amount of money where you can just kind of piss it away whenever you want to on things that other people in other markets are paying literally probably a tenth of the price for. But
no matter, probably is good.
And
I mean, if you close your eyes and you don't think about it, it's
and sometimes I'm gonna be real honest with you.
I mean, there's good stuff. There's good coffee. There's bad coffee.
My older gentleman friend, 4 carts, $44.
That's
he
dope.
said up here 1 cart is $100.
Oh yeah, no, you can buy like a $50
1 gram cart
and be a
$100.
Almost.
And I was like, shut the fuck up. He said, I will not. And not only that, I will tell you right now, they will only let me buy like a couple of them. I forgot what he said. And then it's $400 plus 30% tax or whatever. He said there's times where I come out of that place and it's like $500.
Well, yeah, he should. Well, I mean, I buy carts from the dispensaries
with a medical.
Right, with the caretaker, it does save it saves me the tax. So, but I won't pay more than like 60, 65 for a full gram cart.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like that's kind of my limit. Like I feel like that's for a full gram cart. You know,
the ones you rock are the best.
I mean, it tastes. Terp carts taste so good.
They're the best.
Yeah.
I mean, this thing here I got is pretty fantastic too, but it's on a different level of what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Know? Little terp tank with a little Florida orange.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's good stuff. Smoke weed every day. But yeah. So I'm gonna try that out. I do like the trying out stuff on air.
Yeah.
We should do hey, if you have you want to do a medical review, Dave will smoke it right on air.
Yeah,
we'll review your medicine.
Anytime that you would like me to do a review of anything, especially if it's your stuff.
Yeah.
And I can just do a review.
Yeah.
Send it to 2dopedudespodcast@gmail.com.
Right there. Through the internet, please.
Put it in our inbox, please. And if it's in our spam, we probably won't see it for a while. So figure out a way to not be so spammy, please.
It's a series of tubes.
Tubes.
It's not a truck.
Wow.
All right.
Here we go.
All right.
Check this out. I needed to talk about this for a minute because it makes me laugh. It was the other thing in the news that made me go, marijuana MSO Cresco Labs. All right. We all know the old Walmart of cannabis.
Yep.
Alleges that GTI, the Dollar General of cannabis, poached a key employee.
Oh, God.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Get the heck out of here. All right, well, let's check it out. A lawsuit filed in Illinois by Chicago-based marijuana multi-state operator Cresco Labs alleges rival Green Thumb Industries stole one of its high-level employees.
Yep.
Almost 007 style, this son of a bitch.
I mean, I guess there's only a few places you can go work. So.
Well, and check this out. This is the first time I've ever heard of a cannabis company getting pissed off that somebody left their company. Now I do get it, and I've actually heard about this before, but all right, anyway, we'll get to it so that you hear it. It's just fucking weird that who gives a shit? You literally preach and fucking tell every single one of your employees that they are completely fucking replaceable. That's literally
you have personal issues. Let's preface this by saying Dave has personal issues with certain companies within
this, specifically
Illinois.
Within this article that I'm just speaking about.
I don't give a shit. He's just biased.
Entire motto was "You are completely replaceable," which is completely fine.
these are personal interactions he's had, so like that's why.
What?
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
I worked in the cannabis industry a couple of times for a couple of these monsters, and they are just a bunch of self-servicing humans.
Is this the guy who said I'd never smoke pot? Is this that guy, or was that a different guy?
It might be a different guy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Chicago-based GTI said it vehemently denies the claims made in the complaint and will vigorously defend itself in court. For those who need to know what vehemently means, it means in a forceful, passionate, or intense manner with a great feeling. I had to fucking look it up because I had no fucking clue.
Oh, that's awesome.
But that's some
job.
lawyer ass talk, dude.
Yeah.
Who the hell says I vehemently deny? Bitch, you did some shit. All right, you come out with words like vehemently. You're trying to throw off the stink trail.
Well, that's I think we said that last time. That's obviously something they said.
Yeah. Their lawyers made that statement
Yeah.
up. According to the Chicago Sun-Times, Cresco alleges in the lawsuit filed in Cook County Court that this human is former director of technical services, took a similar job at GTI this past spring.
So he went from one company to another.
Correct.
Oh.
A chemist by training had signed an employee agreement with a non-compete clause.
Well, I think I do think that Congress, or I think that's about to become illegal. I think they're gonna say
You're at
NDAs don't mean nothing.
I don't think they're going to mean anything. You cannot tell me that we work in a state that's called an at-will state and they can fire you at any time for any reason, but you cannot leave your fucking job at any time for any reason. Out of this world, craziest thing I've ever heard.
I don't think that's what it says. I think it says that you cannot talk about you cannot take things that are proprietary industry, like I've been asked to sign NDAs before. You know what I mean? Like
if you're doing something that is
think that's what
specific to you
alleging.
and nobody else in the world knows how to do
Right,
it, and
that's
you've
different.
sold your idea to somebody,
Right,
that
that's-
is one thing.
Yeah.
I doubt that this chemist walked in and said, I know how to do something proprietary to the cannabis industry, because there is none of that.
Right.
Nothing exists where nobody else knows how to do it. And I'm willing to sell you me and my intelligence and my rights to this
because
idea.
it's not like Illinois had like a long-standing technology of cannabis. So like it's everybody's learning from or has learned from somebody else. Everybody's come from somewhere else. So it's not like it's some secret knowledge.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's not secret knowledge.
Right. Well, and that's the whole thing. At the beginning, they all brought in these guys who knew how to grow or who had growing experience.
Yeah.
From where? They all came from Colorado, California, whatever.
Oregon.
They were six-figure guys,
Yeah.
Oregon, Washington, whatever.
Yeah.
Six-figure guys that came in. They taught somebody else for half a year or a year
Yeah.
or whatever, and then they got fired because all of these companies are shady shade balls.
Yeah.
And then they paid the next guy $80K
Yeah.
and let him do it for a year or two until he figured it out, and then he taught a bunch of people, and they're now doing it for $60K. And there are a bunch of fucking scrubs out there.
Sounds like my last job.
Yeah, it literally is just a cycle down process to how do we make them cost less
Yeah,
and us get the
100%.
same level of some kind of production. And once it becomes just common knowledge, just the machine is rolling and the ball is
Right.
going and that cannabis is going to grow itself, then it's over with. And
Yeah.
then you're done.
Yeah.
Once
And-
they've written down in the computers enough times how much you're supposed to put when,
Yeah.
then these companies own that's them owning your intelligence. That's them owning your work. And then you're just done. You're worth nothing else.
Right. You're
anymore.
just a
And
robot.
you're-
Because anybody can, put molasses in a bucket and make it a slurry and add it to the 55-gallon and then add silica first.
Especially if you're
Always.
meticulous enough to
Yeah.
have measured
Like-
every single thing
Right.
out on a scale and to have put it in
Yeah.
with the same consistency and regularity, and then you wrote it down and your entire game plan is sold to. It's not even sold to a company. A lot of times they were shit canned.
Yeah.
People were walking. I've heard this.
Well, there is
I had it happen to me.
there is a lot of that still in this industry. There's other states that regularly try and find growers and invite them, and then
Steal
what-
their growing routines and then
that's
ship them out the door.
Yeah.
I literally walked into work one day, tried
Uh-huh.
to open my email address and could not open it. And then went to go walk out and go, hey, why isn't my email address
And
opening?
they're like, you're
And then
not
they were
supposed to
like,
be
hey,
here.
come back here and talk to us. And I was like, oh,
God.
okay, what's going on? And they're, you're fired. And I was like, oh my God. Here we go.
Yeah, okay, cool.
There we go.
So
I get it, dude. Whatever, just be careful, protect yourself, always protect your your intellectual properties, and make sure that you are, especially just if you're at a job and you're only at a job to do the job, that you make sure you're not signing away yourself as the
well, I'm
thing.
sure like at the time he had the intention, but let's,
Yeah.
it is what it is. But yeah, so in the lawsuit, they said that he took a similar job and that he's a chemist, and he was recruited by another guy who is another former Cresco employee who's now the senior vice president of operations. So yeah, that's how that works. And then they said this guy breached his employment agreement and that Green Thumb and the senior vice president were involved.
And that this guy has reached out to other Cresco employees attempting to poach them.
Yep. Which happens. I mean, can they enforce the NDA? I guess we'll see.
I would venture to say it's funny either way. It doesn't really matter.
It's going to take so long that it's not going to matter.
Yeah. And it's funny also because these same people like semi-sleep in bed together.
Yeah. I mean, they're all interlinked. All the states are interlinked. When Arkansas Medical was getting together, a bunch of Illinois plants ended up down there, supposedly.
This feels like the Gannon Burr bullshit.
Which one? Which Gannon Burr bullshit?
The fucking non-compete.
Oh yeah, that was stupid.
Bullshit.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I just thought about that. I don't know why it clicked in my head, but
he just went back to throwing. He doesn't really promote Prodigy. He does contractually what he needs to do. I think at the end of this year, I'm assuming he's going to be done.
Oh, he will be gone.
Do you want to now that all the talk happened, do you think that he signed something? Well, do you think he signed something already, or do you think that other companies will now talk to him and there's going to be renewed interest?
I think there's a chance that Discmania has to put a face behind their brand.
What's wrong with Casey White?
Listen, I love all of them.
Okay.
I really do.
You still think it's Discmania?
I just think that Discmania makes some of the best plastic in the game.
I think it's Lone Star. It's the plastic.
I think
it's the plastic. It's the plastic.
Yeah, I don't know. But that's the whole point. Discmania makes some of the best plastic in the entire game.
Yeah, you're right.
And with fine, they have Eagle, but Eagle's past that, right? They need somebody to be out there smashing.
They need
fucking
a new Crush Boy.
And dude, if you put some of that fucking Discmania plastic into Gannon's fucking hands over that fucking Prodigy boo boo, are you kidding me right now?
Well, Prodigy has no other stars. Sorry, Kevin Jones. Sorry, Luke Humphreys. Sorry, that one chick who would she DNF the last one? I can't remember her name. Anyway, yeah. 99% cannabis, 1% disc golf.
Keep yourself healthy no matter what.
Yeah.
Motion is lotion, baby.
Motion is lotion. Go out in the forest and throw plastic at trees with friends and smoke cannabis. It's probably one of the most fun things you can do.
Fun facts, just
we should do a disc golf meetup. There's another podcast that does a disc golf meetup.
Really?
Yeah, Couch Locked. Couch Locked is another one. I don't listen, but I know of them and follow them. Yeah.
Yep.
We should do that sometime. We should do a disc golf meetup. That'd be cool.
Sounds reasonable.
Once we get whatever. But yeah, so
I vehemently agree.
I vehemently agree.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, it says so they're getting sued and GTI sucks and Fresco sucks and
honestly, look here, it's just kind of funnier to me than anything. The one thing that really sucks through any of this is that GTI and Cresco get to fucking debate over which one of them owns the right to another human more, which if any of us aren't seeing this is like some kind of like claimed slavery. I don't want to say it, but anyway, let's just be honest. It looks like you're a piece of property and you're being traded back and forth.
Yeah, unless your stuff is like very specific. I mean, if it's known information, and I mean, you shouldn't be able to say, as you said, this is an at-will state. You know what I mean? I guess if you're a president or vice president and above, maybe that's different because then you're C-suite or something like that. Maybe that sort of contract is different. But if he's a chemist by trade and he was, you know what I mean? You should be able to go wherever the fuck you
Also,
want.
dear Cresco employees, if you're listening,
Yeah.
which you should,
Treat, dear
listen,
Cresco, treat your people better.
well, dear Cresco employees, don't go work at GTI. Not well, you can do whatever the fuck you want, but the grass is not greener on the other side. That is the only thing I want you to all understand. This whole cannabis industry is broken. It is not
Nationwide.
what we thought it was going to be. If you have passion for this thing, we're still waiting for that to come about. There will probably be a place or two here and there that is doing it correct, and I'm completely fine with that. Please shout them out in our comment sections and let us know who is
Support
actually
dope
doing
people.
cannabis correct, because we support dope people, right?
That's right. Support dope
Every
people.
single one of us has the ability to do so, and make sure that it's the right people and that we're giving the love where, you know, the love is supposed to go.
Yes.
So, again,
That's really what it's all about, man. Like, you know, support dope people, you know, and make sure it's right. And, you know, don't go work on the other side. Well, the grass is always greener until you jump over and step in shit, right?
I promise you all right now,
Yeah.
this whole fucking industry is the same. It is the same. There's no place that is doing it right now any better than any one of the rest of them, in Illinois at least. And if they're a multi-state operator, they are purely a profiteer, okay? They're a bunch of people who have invested into monstrous fucking things expecting some kind of level of return. And they're the level of return that they are receiving is drastically greater than anything you will be seeing.
Yeah.
So just
So know what you're getting
down,
into.
slow down. It's okay. There is great knowledge out there, and I respect that there's plenty of jobs and plenty of us can go to it. Respect that too. It's just a job. Be the best at any job you go to, no matter what it is. Kick ass. Be the best. All right.
Yeah.
Be the dope person
It's-
so that other people can also support you too. Because it goes both.
It's totally okay to make or to take their money. You know what I mean? Know what you're going into.
1,000%.
Don't go into it thinking that it's some idealistic, compassionate
I'm just telling
thing.
you,
You know,
please don't lead with your heart when you
Yeah.
come into this thing.
Go
Please
get that
don't
money.
Yeah. Make your money and understand that it's very cool and you can do some
Yeah.
cool things with it.
super.
But the second that it gets a little too annoying, the second it gets a little too political, you can always step back and you can always go, hey, calm the fuck down, because I can literally go across the street. I
Right.
can go from
And we're getting more
GTI
dispensaries.
to Cresco. I can go from Cresco to fucking Nature something, or
Nature's
from Nature's
Grace.
to fucking Zen Leaf to fucking Sunny to whatever. You can
Yeah.
just keep bouncing
New
around
Era,
from place to place to
Ivy
place
Hall.
to place. They're all the fucking same.
Yeah,
And
they're
if
all
you'd
the
rather
same.
grow, I mean, you only got about 16 to 20 places to grow some cannabis in this state. So maybe pick your battles, okay?
Yeah.
Or you're going to be driving a long way to work.
Yeah. Don't,
Yeah.
No long drives.
Yeah. Wait for a little bit on that one.
Yeah,
Don't,
for sure.
Wait. That's what I'm saying. Cresco people, don't burn your bridges yet. There's not a lot of bridges in this state yet.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. Hopefully we get some more. I mean, I don't know. I'd love to see us have some sort of industry for growing in more like, you know, more craft stuff. It would be cool if like we could get together and do co-op stuff and like actually do grows. That'd be super fire. And that kind of goes with Illinois too. Shout out to like the Illinois hemp people. I know. Yeah, I know they're doing good work growing hemp type cannabis down in Champaign-Urbana. They also have some disc golf. They have a disc golf tournament. They're interested in disc golf, I believe, and that's in Princeton, Illinois, and that's on a golf course. So that's cool. Shout out to those people. You know, but like that home grow is kind of like, that's got that Illinois feel of like the 4-H, the farms. You know, it'd be cool to be able to like get together and like have a co-op and grow cannabis, and then have, you know, people that are part of the co-op who have their peddler's license who will go out and sell it. You know, that'd be cool.
That'd be great.
That's the Illinois I remember. Unfortunately, it's very weirdly regulated now, and it wouldn't allow for that. I think we need more farmers to get on board. I would like to see more cannabis farming. I would love to see like farmers switch to cannabis, you know, because it is regenerative as well. You can do that. I know we get a lot of soybeans and cornfields here where we're at, and but you know, you should move your gardens around. Shout out to Chad for teaching me all of that. Love you, buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, you gotta move it around and make sure that the nitrogen's right and the sulfur's right, and you know, everything gets its use, and everything, you know, has a purpose. And if you follow the, you know, the ways of the farmers and the people who have the great knowledge of like how to grow stuff, you know, throughout history, you should be great. You should be fine.
Yeah.
Just go grow stuff, man.
Go grow
It's
stuff.
super easy, you know.
Yeah.
And if you need help with that, 826 Outdoor Farmers Market, it's got a new location, and it's on Saturdays. All the new ones are going to be on Saturdays. I didn't want to forget to talk about that.
Nice.
Yeah. So if you need growing supplies, go you know, go to the farmers market. You'll find plenty of vendors that will be able to help you grow tomatoes, indoor plants, cannabis, whatever. Should be fun.
Yeah.
Should be fun. I'm excited to see their new place.
Through our next few.
Supposedly it has enough room for disc golf, and from the videos I've seen, it's got like acres.
Nice.
And acres.
Nice.
Acres. So we'll see.
Well, come out and check that out.
Yeah,
You will
for
hear
sure.
more about it over the next few
I'm sure.
episodes. But
Shout out to people doing dope things. We love you. We support you. Let us know, you know, if you have a friend or somebody who needs to be supported and who is super dope. Let us know so we can let everybody else know.
facts.
Yeah.
Thanks again, guys. I really do appreciate any of the support and any of the feedback that has been going on. Me and Aaron do not intend on going anywhere. We're
Yeah,
gonna keep
nah.
on doing this.
This is super fun.
So if it doesn't please you, please tell us why it doesn't, because if not, you're just going to be really upset.
Yeah, I know. I talked to Marky the other day, and he's like, "I'm gonna have some ideas for you," and I was like, "Cool, send them my way."
Have ideas, and please let us know what they are.
Yeah, for sure. We love you
Thanks
guys.
for being dope yourself. Y'all are the dope people. Thanks for listening.
We're just here to highlight you guys. You're the true voice of the, you know, of everything. So thank you.
That's it.
So we love you.
Love
Talk to you
y'all.
later.
Be
Smoke
good.
weed every day. Peace.
Bum, 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 bum.
Yo, ding dong, we're done here. Time to go.